On the DJI Mini 4, we have a brand new Active Track 360, and this gives you more freedom and options than ever before. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use this, what Active Track 360 is, and discuss any limitations. Let's get straight into it. And before we start, if you do enjoy tech and drone content, it'll be fantastic if you do consider subscribing. I've got loads of content coming on the DJI Mini 4 Pro and some new products coming out as well. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Okay, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, this had Active Track and it was really good. Compared to the DJI Mini 2, which didn't have Active Track, having this tracking capability was groundbreaking. It's something we always wanted. But on the Mini 3 Pro, although it was great, it was really limiting as well, and it caused a lot of problems. So the Mini 3 Pro, you could track yourself, so you drag a box around you, whatever you're on, and the drone would track you automatically, and it would track you from either behind or parallel from the side. But that's where the problem lied. You see, the Mini 3 Pro has no sideways obstacle avoidance sensors. So it does have obstacle avoidance sensors on it, but when you're tracking yourself and the drone is maybe orbiting or moving around to keep you in the frame, the drone will then crash if it hits anything on a sideways motion. And this is where loads of crashes were happening, and that's the biggest issue with the Mini 3 Pro. The Mini 4 Pro though, this addresses that issue because this now has full 360 degrees of obstacle avoidance. So you have protection on the front, the back, the side and the bottom. So when it is tracking you, it gives you a lot more confidence now. So that risk factor of crashing it when flying sideways is less. And when I say that, I mean it's not perfect. This drone, although it has obstacle avoidance sensors now all around it, fantastic, and they detect really well large objects. These cameras aren't the biggest. They're not going to detect really small objects like twigs, small branches, telephone wires. So if it hits one of them, it probably will still crash. So you still need to air caution when you are flying a Mini 4 Pro in Active Track. So you drag a box around you. You could be walking, running, riding a bike. You could be in a car. You could be on a boat, literally anything. So you drag a box around there and then you will see this green box around you. But you also notice now in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you have this really big circle now. And this circle allows you to position the drone anywhere on that 360 degrees clock face. And the drone will then position itself wherever you told it to and will track you. And this is so much better than the Mini 3 Pro because you remember that could only track you from either behind or at the side. This can now track you anywhere on the 360 degrees clock face. And it's not just certain positions either. You can just get your finger and go and actually position the drone anywhere you want and the drone will move to that position. It is brilliant. But the creme de la creme is we now have a inner circle as well. This is what we haven't seen before. So now you can actually position the drone from the outer circle to the inner circle. And when you do this, again, anywhere on a 360 degrees clock face, the drone will then move really close to you and get these really close tracking shots. It's just fantastic. And then when you want the drone to actually go a bit further back, you don't have to stop anything. You don't have to reposition the drone. You just go onto this clock face again, and you can just draw a line from the inner circle to the outer circle. And the drone will then go backwards, nice and smoothly, still tracking you and getting awesome shots like this. This is what I mean. This is the best it's ever been. I hope this comes to other drones as well, but at the time of recording this, this is only available on the DJI Mini 4 Pro. This has now better tracking than the DJI Air 3 and even the DJI Mavic 3 Pro. It is just insane the tracking we have on such a small drone like this. And if that's not good enough, you can also go into the settings and you can customize these focus track settings even more, and you can change the radius of how that drone tracks you. And for those daring out there, you can also turn on near ground flight. The drone will then go super low to the ground and track you at just 2 meters off the ground, and it keeps up brilliantly again. But only do that in areas where you are confident it won't crash into anything because it's going to be super low to that ground. So if you like Active Track, and I love Active Track, especially on the Mavic 3 and the DJI Air 3 because I can position that drone anywhere I want. I didn't use it as much on the Mini 3 Pro because it was limiting. Now it is so much better. This video is sponsored by my friends at Motion VFX. Now, they aren't just a sponsor to me, they are essential at me making these videos. So all the overlays, titles and plugins that I use like these, they're all from Motion VFX. Some of my favorites are the MKBHD plugin, the iJustine plugins, and the M-Channel Cyber plugins, where I can show information on the screen like this, whether it's up here, lower thirds. They are fantastic. And rather than me having to create every single one of them, I can just drag them straight on and then edit them really fast and easily. And they have titles, plugins and effects for Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve and Adobe, and I love that they are just a one-time purchase, so there isn't any monthly fees. For me personally, they make my life so much easier when editing, but no matter what content you create, they have hundreds of different plugins, titles and effects all on their website. So have a look at the rest of this video and see just how many of these titles and effects that you notice throughout the rest of this video. If you want to go and check them out, I'm going to link them at the top of the description. I highly recommend them. Fantastic. Now let's get back into the video. However, well, there isn't one. I'm glad to say there isn't a but for the ActiveTrack 360. This works in vertical mode as well, so you can switch the camera around and you can actually use the vertical mode to track you, share that to social media in vertical format or horizontal. This works with all the color profiles, so you've got D-Log M now on the Mini 4 Pro, you've got HLG, you've got normal, it works on all them, and it works in 4K 60 now as well, and it works in full 360 degrees of obstacle avoidance as well, so it's going to give you that confidence. And I just keep it on bypass, so if it sees an object, the drone will swerve around it and keep tracking me. Now, Spotlight mode is a fantastic tool. I use this a lot. Now, basically what you do is you do the actual movements of the drone on the control sticks, and the drone will handle all the camera tilting for you. So you're working together to get this fantastic video. I don't think I've ever used Spotlight mode and been unimpressed with the video that comes out of it. It just looks awesome all the time, nice and cinematic. So I highly recommend you use this. So again, you just drag a box around anything, and then you just actually move the drone either forwards. You can increase the altitude, you can decrease the altitude, left or right, wherever you want to go. I would recommend doing this in either normal or cine mode, and the drone just moves that camera and keeps that, whatever you've tracked, the subject, the focus all the time, so it's centered in the position of the frame. It just looks fantastic, so I highly recommend using that. You can also use it in 4K 60, so you can make that even look more cinematic by slowing that footage down. Spotlight mode is brilliant. And POI, so basically you can actually drag a box around something and the drone will just go in a circle around it. This is okay, I don't use it a lot, it is quite limiting, but you can get some good results. So let's just say me on the bike here, so I can drag a box around me, I can select POI, and then I can choose, do I want the drone to rotate around me to the left or to the right. I just hit go and the drone will then circle around me. So it is similar to a quick shot, but this time I'm actually moving, so it's tracking me and it's circling around me as I'm actually moving. It's pretty good. I wouldn't use it a lot. I would say out of the three, between ActiveTrack 360, Spotlight mode and POI, I'm going to be using this the least by far, but it is pretty handy to use now and then. And the limitation is going to be in relation to the Mini 4 Pro's size. So comparing it to, say, a Mavic, you can see the difference. It is vast. So the Mavic 3 Pro has no issue keeping up with you in ActiveTrack because it's much more powerful, can travel at more speeds, whereas the Mini 4 Pro, it can struggle a little bit. Now, I've found when I've been using this, it does keep up really well, but if you are on something that's going pretty fast, it will struggle and be quite far back. You're like, come on, keep up. So that's its limitation in relation to the actual size of this. And even though the Mini 4 Pro has omnidirectional sensoring, none of these drones here are invincible or indestructible. So don't just fly this with the thought of, my drone has full 360 degrees of sensoring, I'm never going to crash this. Because in ActiveTrack, things can happen. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, it won't always detect small things like twigs, small branches, telephone wires. So if it hits one of them, it will crash and it's not going to be pretty. So I do recommend whatever drone you have, go and get the DJI Refresh plan as well as soon as you pick up this drone. This is going to give you a lot more confidence because it protects you for flyaways, for damage, for water damage. And I've used this in the past and it's been great because I was able to send the drone back and get a 3-day turnaround of getting a brand new drone sent back to me. So I really highly recommend it. On these drones, you can get like a 1-year plan or a 2-year plan. So it gives you that extra peace of mind. I'm also with DJI going to be giving away 2 DJI refresh codes as well. So it's going to give you extra peace of mind. If you want a chance to winning them, all you've got to do is subscribe to this channel and then just type in refresh in the comments down below. And I will pick 2 winners at random and an upcoming video coming really soon. So hope you win that, but I really do highly recommend it. Just gives you that extra peace of mind. So Active Track 360 is one of the biggest selling features of the Mini 4 Pro. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of Active Track. I didn't use it as much on the Mini 3 Pro. I used it loads on the Air 3 and the Mavic 3 Pro, but now I have it on a small drone like this. I can take in more places, fly this in more places. This is just fantastic. It has more features now, so I'm going to be using these small drones a lot more, especially Active Track 360. So let me know what you think about this. If you've got any comments or questions on this, just feed them down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're not going to miss out on any of the comparisons I've got coming on the Mini 4 Pro. And if you enjoyed this video, just do me a favour and hit that like button. It really does help out. I'll see you on the next one.